25 girls were abducted from their school.
Everybody knows if you order from Taco Bell, bears are gonna take it.
Because all over Pennsylvania and the East Coast, but specifically Pennsylvania, they have been finding notes in mac and cheese, Pocky packaging, and a lot of dried goods.
Hey, happy Friday. Hope everyone had a great day. It's that time again where I'm handing over a whole bunch of videos to react to, and I don't know what I'm about to watch. I'm watching it for the first time right along with you guys. It could be freaky, scary, weird. I'm not too sure what's going to be tossed at me. If you like the content, please subscribe, give the video a like, and hit that notification bell to be notified of any future uploads. Also, if you have any suggestions for a video to react to, please send it our way. We will include it in our next video. Also, a disclaimer for today's video. I have been extremely sick today. So if it looks like I'm, really off and sounding off, that is why. Either way, let's get to the videos.
25 girls were abducted from their school yesterday, and you probably have never even heard about it. At about 4 a.m. at a boarding school in northwest Nigeria, a group of armed men scaled the walls and started rounding up girls from their hostel. The school's vice principal was shot and killed while trying to protect some of the students, and another staff member sustained gunshot wounds. The girls were marched into nearby bushlands and have never been seen since. And to make matters even worse, this is not even that rare. Earlier last year, over 200 pupils were kidnapped, and over the past 10 years, many schools have been targeted in order to demand a ransom from the government. In fact, things have gotten so bad that in 2022, the government had to pass a bill outlawing ransoms. In fact, you can even be jailed for 15 years if you are caught paying a ransom to free someone who is being kidnapped. Now, police have launched a search and rescue operation for the 25 girls, and their parents have been informed. As the situation develops, I'll keep you guys updated.
That's terrible. Wow. I don't even know what to say to that. That's just such a tragedy. I hope they're all alive and whatever they're going through, which is probably not going to be, great, obviously. They can get over it with the love and support from their family.
Nobody believes me when I say I have a ghost in my house and that he's my buddy. I'm pointing to this chair. He doesn't haunt the chair, but let me show you. Let me prove it to you. He really is here. Hey, can you prove to them that you're here for me, please? 1 REM pod, 2 REM pods. Yes! Can you do the... Thank you. How about this one? Yeah! Yeah! This is my best friend! Yeah! Yeah! We're buddies! Oh yeah! Go best friend, 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 go best friend.
Wow. Many people would be very scared if they had a ghost. This lady seems to be very excited about it. Or perhaps she's doing reverse psychology on the ghost, but I'm pretty sure she's happy. That was some ghost dance.
If this photo is real, we have serious problems. This is the clearest picture of a werewolf / dogman type creature that you may ever see. Werewolves or dogmen are things that we thought just lived in Hollywood, on the big screens and in horror movies. But recently, people have claimed to have captured and seen these elusive creatures. The bigger question now is not are they real, but what are they? I'm not saying they're Hollywood type creatures where you have to use a silver bullet, but many believe these things originated in laboratories and then things went wrong. Check this out. Let me know in the comments, what do you think it is? And mind you, this picture is about 15 or 16 years old, so it ain't best quality, but the image is very clear. Have a great day. God bless.
First I thought it was part of a horse. That's what I thought it was. I don't even know, like, is it just me, or did the front look like it was stubs, like it didn't have arms or legs, or I'm not too sure what I'm looking at. When it moved a bit, it did kind of resemble a dog with a long bushy tail. Either way, if that thing is real, I don't want to be any part of it. Thank you for the submissions.
Oh, she's possessed, like straight up.
Wait, something's going on. Her face doesn't look like herself. Something's going on.
Yo, I seen this video. It's a couple that does these hauntings. And one of them was they actually explored a prison where a lot of people died, right? So this is when the husband was really scared. They have a code word whenever they go so you know that they're still there with you, right? The wife's sitting there and she's smiling. Like in the video, she even says, look in my eyes, because her eyes were just like looking at someone in the distance. The husband was like, baby, you remember our code word? And she's like, we don't have a code word. Don't be funny. I don't know what that is.
We have a safe word.
We don't have it.
We have a rude safe word. What's the rude safe word?
No, we'll make it up.
Come on.
I don't want to go.
Come on.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. That was not good.
The husband's like, okay, we have to get out of here. Let's do a ritual on you real quick before we go, because this is like haunted. You want to see it?
Oh, she's possessed, like straight up.
Yeah, she said this is the first time I felt like an
What's the
entity.
safe word?
Like a safe word.
What's the safe word?
We don't have a safe word.
Oh, that's
We don't have
crazy.
it.
We have a rude safe word. What's the
And
rude
they always have
Nah,
a safe word.
that's wild.
Okay. So, in all honesty, I do think you have to be careful with these things. You don't know what you're playing with, and I mean, that they weren't prepared for that. She didn't know the code word, and I'm not too sure what happened to her. Maybe it was a ghost possessing her, maybe it wasn't, but that was scary, and I think they were ill prepared for what happened just there. Good luck, guys. If you continue doing that, I hope that doesn't happen again. And this is why robots will be having babies for us in the future, like what was shown in my other videos, because this is the type of relationships we're coming down to. I am really, really worried about society. No jokes.
There's been a lot of construction on Timmins, but I wasn't aware that I was driving into a puddle that is actually more like a pool.
Last week at 8 in the morning, Darlene Demchuk was riding her bike to work along this shared lane on Timmins Boulevard in Saint Laurent. An uncovered worksite was full of water in the shared bike bus lane. 3 upright pylons block the lane, but going around them would have meant cycling in traffic. So Demchuk went straight, right into a large hole.
The fact that I could just ride my bike into that hole tells me that it wasn't properly secured.
The impact broke her nose and resulted in other injuries. Immediate facial reconstruction surgery was required. Soon after, Demchuk recorded a video as she measured the depth of the pit with a 10-foot pole showing the danger of leaving it uncovered.
That's how deep it is.
Saint Laurent Borough Mayor Alan D'Souza says his team secured the site as soon as they heard about the accident.
So it's kind of like a two-edged sword type of thing. If I've got the right analogy here, there was cones. I mean, yeah, it would mean her driving in traffic, but there's also cones. I mean, I don't know what the right answer is in that. That's just an overall bad situation. I really don't know where to go with that one, but that poor lady, wow, that's a nightmare.
In Florida, a bear stole a family's Uber Eats delivery right from their front door
Imagine expecting to open your door to get your food delivery, only to see it's gone. That's what happened to a family in Orlando, Florida. Turns out their doorbell camera caught a sneaky bear in the act, sneaking the bag of food from the porch and taking off with it. The family opened the door in disbelief, but after seeing the footage, they weren't that shocked. Apparently, bears are a common sight.
Everybody knows if you order from Taco Bell, bears are going to take it. They love Taco Bell.
Well, apparently Yogi Bear has upped his game and his diet. Next.
NASA just held their first public announcement about 3i Atlas in over a month, giving their final verdict on it and even showing us some new pics. You know, the interstellar object passing through our solar system that many think is an alien mothership. We've got some new amateur videos of it. It apparently ripped a massive hole through our sun when it passed by it, and NASA abruptly ended a live stream when an alleged UFO passed by just a day before this announcement. And the too long didn't watch summary of it is, it's 100% a comet and their pics suck. Shocker. Like, really? These are the best picks they got at this point. But in more interesting news you actually care about that NASA's not going to talk about, we have these alleged leaked videos of 3i Atlas, which are probably fake, but they're pretty fun to look at, showing clear footage of what appears to be an alien mothership, but take it with a grain of salt. Our sun now has a massive butterfly-shaped coronal hole 35 times the size of Earth on its surface, conveniently rotating towards us just shortly after 3i Atlas flew by the sun on the other side. Now, coronal holes are actually pretty common and are just areas on the sun's surface where the temperature is cooler and the density of the sun's plasma is lower, usually resulting in magnetic fields shooting out into space. But this is the biggest one we've had in a while, and the fact that it happened just shortly after 3i Atlas flew by our sun leads some people to believe that it, like, I don't know, extracted energy from our sun to power its ship. Amateur telescopes from Ray's Astrophotography captured this video of 3i Atlas, showing what appears to be multiple objects rotating around each other as it moves through space, similar to that European Space Agency video we got a month ago. Here's another non-NASA video showing the interstellar object with a similar effect. What is going on with this thing? Pausing Ray's video and enhancing it shows us this, which is definitely something they don't want you looking at. Here are some more taken by the Italian Virtual Telescope project, which aren't very clear, but we can see that something is happening there. Now, a day before NASA's announcement, they had a live stream where a triangle-shaped UFO appeared on screen right before they cut off the stream. And it just comes out of nowhere, almost looking like it has some sort of cloaking technology enabled. But people are quick to point out that the camera was actually facing Earth, and these are just a reflection of city lights on the planet. Maybe that makes sense, maybe it doesn't, but that sure does look like a triangle UFO to me. 3i Atlas continues to get closer to Earth and will reach its closest approach to our planet on December 19th, 2025. So maybe we'll get better pics of it by then. But in conclusion, NASA has told us their answer on it. It's a comet and they're sticking to that. So it either is really just a comet or it's an alien spaceship that they've determined is not going to invade us and is just passing through our solar system for like reconnaissance or whatever. Because if you think about it, if it was some sort of alien mothership, they have no reason at all to tell us that it is one. All that's going to do is cause mass worldwide panic. If it's just passing through our solar system with no intention of invading us, they're better off telling us it's a comet. But maybe it's just a comet, relax. 3i Atlas will continue to fly by Jupiter in March 2026, where the Juno satellite could hopefully take some better pics of it than what we get here on Earth. But even if they do, they're probably just going to edit the pics before they release them to the public to make it look like whatever they want it to look like. But until then, guys, I think we're safe. For now.
I mean, I didn't know NASA had potato technology. That was very potato-esque. No, that's not clear at all. And yeah, I do think no matter what, they'll doctor it. And we're still on the waiting game, you know, sitting around blindly, not able to know actual truth. I mean, I want to believe it is just an asteroid, but you never know with them, especially now. I mean, cameras went down and now we have a potato picture. Come on. Really? I don't know. I find that all hard to believe. Just, it's not okay. They're hiding stuff, whether it is just an asteroid or not. Why? And I think we have every right to know if something is headed towards us and not be in the dark. I mean, it may cause chaos, it probably would, but still, we have a right to know. You're talking about, you know, our future there. So what do you guys think? Would you want to know beforehand or not? Do you think they're doing the right thing or not? Let me know. Run. Yeah, definitely run. Oh. Well, that's scary. Oh man. Yeah, no, there's going to be some numbers to that. I was going to say, I hope everybody's okay, but I don't think everybody's okay. But thoughts there?
Jim Carrey is gone. He's gone, fool. Jim Carrey is gone. We are starting to see this more and more often when it comes to these Hollywood celebrities, where they're just not looking the same anymore. And no, I'm not talking about old age. I'm talking about the whole facial appearance gone, like changing. And most of them don't just be a little slight change. It be a major change, y'all. Look at Jim Carrey. This man look totally different. Am I tripping? Let me know down below in the comments if I'm tripping. But I know this man looked totally different, fool. This whole little event, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing, was weird in general. Y'all know who this girl is, right? This is this girl right here, all grown up, 25 years later. This is also the girl. Just take a look at what's going on in the picture, fool. This right here should just let you know that this whole little shit is weird, fool. I can't say too much, but y'all see what I'm trying to get at, right? Weird, fool.
That looked weird. Are we sure that wasn't photoshopped or something? I mean, it almost kind of, I mean, not to be rude, but it kind of looked like his face was bloated and moved. It didn't look proportionally correct. If not, I am very sorry. The only other thing I could suggest is, I mean, he's rich. Maybe he had Botox. I mean, does his face look swollen to you guys? Yeah, what was that little girl's name from How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Lucy Who or something? I think that's her name. I haven't watched it in a while. I forget the name, so I'm very sorry. And I'm pretty sure I enraged some lovers out there of the movie. But yeah, she grew up, and I think a lot of these stars do things for shock responses, you know, like all those markings and stuff, but I'm not sure. Who knows?
A new study has found that raccoons are showing early signs of domestication. Dogs, you may have competition. Now, the study conducted at the University of Arkansas suggests that raccoons living in urban areas in North America are physically changing in response to life around humans. Now, the researchers suggested that domestication starts when wild animals start hanging around humans and adapt on their own, rather than us domesticating them. Dogs hung around ancient garbage piles and cats showed up for the mice that followed. But in this process over hundreds of years, physical changes were also observed. Shorter snouts, smaller heads, floppy ears, and white patches of fur. This pattern, which is noted all the way back in the 1800s, is called the domestication syndrome. And raccoons in the Big 25 and before GTA 6 might have that syndrome. Of the 20,000 raccoons observed across the US, researchers discovered that the ones living in the city have shorter snouts than the ones living in rural areas. Bro, what even is this year?
Wow. That's probably not a good thing. I'm not too sure what to say about that one, but they're darn cute. And that video that they showed with the panda. Okay, I said that because trash panda. Okay, so I will correct myself. The one with the raccoon with his arms out. You guys ever seen that video? That was great. It was like 3 of them, and it was like they're all posing when they got caught. It was like real life cartoon. It was great.
Just going through the dark woods and everything, right? About to be sunset. Spooky thing though. My truck is saying that there's people around me. There's no people around me. But my truck says. My truck says people. Watch. If I slow down, they'll catch up. See? Right next to my... There's no one here.
Why are you stopping? Why would you stop?
Okay.
I would not stop. I mean, this is becoming more and more a thing. And I don't know if people are faking this or not, which is why I wanted to try it myself. And like I said in another video, I could not find any rentals with that ability in it. And yeah, my car doesn't have it. And I'm kind of thinking that's a good thing, because I think I would never be able to sleep again if I saw that all the time. I don't know if it's real, but I mean, it's happening a lot. And if it is real, why would you stop? Keep going. You let them catch up to you. Now they're probably going to go in your car and they're going to have a ride home with you. Good job, buddy.
The cat would walk up to a patient's bed, jump onto their chest, and quietly curl up beside them. Hours later, that person would pass away. You see, this wasn't just any ordinary cat. This was Oscar, a therapy cat at a nursing home with a special ability. For reasons no one fully understands, Oscar seemed to know when someone was about to pass away. If someone still had time, Oscar would just sniff around and leave. But if he decided to stay by your side, they knew it was over for them. And it wasn't just a one-off thing. He did it again and again, accurately predicting more than 50 passings. Some people think he could smell chemical changes in the body right before passing away, but no one really knows how he did it.
Okay. If that's so, I would not have that cat around. I would probably give that cat a home to a young family who it won't terrify. But I mean, a lot of things can happen just mentally. So if the patients relate that cat to death, and they're old and they're frail, and your brain can do a lot. I mean, the cat may have just wanted to snuggle a few of them, and they weren't going to die, and that person probably just, I guess, maybe will die, like a reverse placebo effect. You know what I mean? Or the cat really did smell death. Who knows?
There was a dad, and his son went missing just randomly for 11 days.
Detroit police confirm that investigators saw no signs of the boy after searching the home 4 times.
They were on CNN, live news, and this is the biggest plot twist. The reporter, she was like, Justin, we found your son.
Charlie, we're getting reports that your son has been found in your basement.
Wait, what? Like, you know, like when men try to lie? Wait, what? You're not supposed to find him. And then,
sir?
Wait.
No, he was still living downstairs.
God.
Yeah.
Why did he do that though?
I think he just like didn't like his son and he wanted to trap him downstairs.
Oh, God, they brought dogs, everything. Everybody is searched. What? Oh, God, my son. For anybody to imply that I somehow knew that my son was in the basement, it's absurd and it's wrong. I love my son. I'm glad that he's home. Man, they thought my son was dead, man.
Look.
W acting.
Oh my God. You know that meme?
Oh my God! Wow!
I hope he gets what's coming to him. That is utterly disgusting. The only reason why I smile is his acting is so bad, and you can tell he knows what's gonna be coming to him. At least I don't know the story. I don't know how old that is. I don't know if he's been arrested or gone to court. This is the first I've known of it, but I'm pretty sure justice should have hit him. That's terrible. That is like absolutely terrible.
Even through this press door, something's bothering her. She's gonna fix something. I know.
Sorry.
She's getting the fixing itch.
It's like
that Cynthia Erivo
right.
gets.
It's not there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because the thing is.
Today we get to do popular. It's going to be so great. That joy he wanted to infuse in every frame so that when you've experienced the film.
Well, I think we found a little piece of ourselves in each other. I think there are little pieces of us that when we got to...
Thanks for letting me watch this Wicked special. It was the best. I had a blast everywhere. I had a blast during LA. Hotel, we got Whale, and blah, blah, blah.
and blah blah blah.
She's just kind of acting like Ariana is totally fragile and she's her mama and just checking up on her no matter what happens to her. Well, even the necklace, nothing happened to her necklace. She just had to fix her necklace right there and then. I don't know. I find that very awkward, very weird. Yeah, no, I think I would want a little bit more of a personal bubble space than that. But to each their own.
This visual illusion is so weird. Focus on the cross between these two photographs. Keep the photographs in your peripheral vision and just keep focused on the cross. Now as you're looking at that cross, the images are going to begin to change. You're going to see different famous people, but just keep focused on the cross. And after a couple of seconds, something weird should start to happen. The faces begin to look distorted, disfigured. It's like the features are all out of proportion. It's a really weird sensation. Yep. Keep focused on the cross. What you're experiencing is something called the flashed face distortion effect. What's actually happening is your brain is holding on to previous images and overlaying those on new ones as they appear in your peripheral vision. Because you're not looking at the photographs directly, your brain is basically trying to fill in the blanks. Now you might think that I've edited these photographs to make them look strange, but that's not the case. Feel free to watch this entire video again and you'll see that they're all legit. This is such a weird visual illusion. Let me know in the comments if this one worked for you and share it with a friend so they can try it as well.
Yeah, partway through, I literally thought, okay, I'm not going to get had on this video. He's obviously edited those videos. And so I cheated partway through and I went to look to the side to make sure I'm not being played. And no, he's correct. He didn't edit them. That was really weird and truly freaky. They, like, mouths were missing and everything. That's crazy. Wow, you learn something new every day.
Alright, so what's the chip thing in the hand?
So anybody who scans their hand who comes in has an Amazon One account. And if they have an Amazon One account, it's going to whatever could be linked to their Amazon account profile. Whereas anybody who's inserting a card here is actually coming into the Hudson store, even though they're technically the same store.
And there's only, what, 4 in the United States?
There's only 4 Amazon Just Walk Out stores in just the United States. They've opened up a few new Go Fresh stores, so you can still use alternative payments there. But for Just Walk Out, Walk In technology, it's just the 4. One's going to be in New York, one's in Los Angeles, one's going to be in Chicago, and one's right here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Fantastic. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, wait, what? So basically to shop there you have to have something in your hand? Like, I'm confused on that one. And I'm not going to rewind and make you guys rewatch it. That kind of lost me and my brain's not all here from being sick. So that's what kind of sounded like to me. To shop there, you have to be okay with something in your hand. No, not worth. Move on. That became like, you know, well, you can't shop here if you don't have that. I guess I'm not shopping there. That's not okay. Eat the glitched blueberry. I don't know. I think if I was a mom and I saw that, I would not want that kid to eat the glitched blueberry. What if it was from a different reality and blueberries are different and I don't know, they're made of something different and it wasn't good for your kid? I don't know. For all I know, that was AI. You just don't know these days. Or it was just simply edited. Or it was really a glitch. I don't know. But if it's real, I would not want my child eating a glitched blueberry. Just saying.
They lick it after finding it buried in the dirt. If it's just a rock, the tongue will slide right off, and the surface stays smooth. But if it's a fossil, tiny pores in the bone will suck up the moisture in your mouth. And when those holes touch your tongue, they suck in your spit, causing it to grip the surface. This is a quick way to tell if you're dealing with fossilized bone or just another rock. A masked man stormed in and pointed a gun right at the woman's face. Her fiancé threw himself across the room, grabbed the barrel, and wrestled the intruder to the ground. The fight spilled down the stairs, and the man held on, even as the attacker dragged him outside. But the stairs were icy, and the attacker slipped, allowing the man to pull the gun from his hands. The criminal ran, but just minutes later he returned, hoping to get his gun back. But this time the man was armed and waiting for him, so the robber was soon arrested.
Wow. Not your brightest moment, buddy. But then again, breaking the law is never your brightest moment. But, I mean, it was really good. He was extra unbright. And that first one, I am sorry for the faces. I'm already not feeling good. And the thought of licking anything from the ground is just horrifying to me. Texture is a big thing for me. And then that second one, like, licking a fossil? Seriously. Think of... Oh, no. I don't even want to know what could be on that. Yeah, no.
It's getting weird. Port infinity.
Probably one of the most creative things we've seen served at a restaurant so far. So this is foul.
Foul as
Very foul.
Listen, I love chicken just like the next, okay? But this is, I'm not eating a chicken head. I don't eat chicken feet either. For all the people that eat chicken feet, do your thing.
People eat chicken feet?
I thought this was AI too. It's not. This is a real place called Fowl. Of course, it's in the UK. But yeah, this is like, I wonder who thought of this? Who walked in the office and was like, "We are taking suggestions for our next specialty dish." Anyone?
Yes, right here. Please. Yes, pick me. Yes, thank you. Yes, my name is William from Bridgerton. Yes, good to meet you. I do have a suggestion.
So mean.
What if, now just hear me for a second. What if we cut off a chicken's head and just plopped it inside of a pie? Huh? And the chicken could just be looking at the people like, it's a great idea. What?
Quite the filter.
Now listen, when they come out to my neck, the rest of the food looks good. Okay, it does look good. It's just that was like a weird thing to add to the menu. I don't know.
You think?
Would y'all try that?
No.
It's a no for me.
Heck no. And man, yeah, that was definitely foul. Would you guys try it? Let me know. You couldn't pay me enough for that. Wait, what? That's a man? Okay, I thought that was a woman screaming. He's truly scared. That's quite funny. But then again, I'm sure it doesn't feel too good to be head bunted by a goat, but there you be.
Insane Crimes, Part 5. A 29-year-old Florida woman managed to impersonate a registered nurse for months, slipping into a hospital job while using someone else's license number. During that time, she treated more than 4,000 patients, taking vitals, administering medications, and performing procedures she wasn't trained for. Staff only uncovered the truth when she was offered a promotion and her credentials didn't add up. Investigators later learned she'd been working on the floor for far longer than anyone realized, blending in so well that no one questioned her until she tried to move up. She now faces multiple felony charges, while thousands of patients are being notified that the person who cared for them wasn't a nurse at all. At Disney Springs, a bizarre robbery unfolded straight out of a heist movie in September of 2025. A man in full scuba gear swam up to the Paddlefish restaurant after midnight, snuck inside, and forced two employees to the ground as they were counting cash. He stole over $10,000, then slipped back into the water and vanished beneath the surface, escaping the same way he arrived. When police got there, all they found were wet footprints, discarded dive gear, and two shaken employees tied up inside. To this day, the aquatic thief hasn't been identified.
Wow. Wow. Perfect crime. He washed away the evidence.
Morbid Facts, Part 811. In 2014, 23-year-old Ashley Gabrielle Huff spent nearly a month in jail because a cop mistook dried SpaghettiOs on a spoon in her car for meth. She couldn't afford bond, so she sat in a county cell while her life unraveled, missing her child's birthday, losing her job, and watching everything fall apart over a crusty spoon. When the crime lab finally tested it weeks later, the result was immediate. It wasn't meth at all, just pasta sauce like she said it was. The charges were dropped on the spot long after the damage was done. In 1999, 11-year-old MacLeod Biggs vanished from a quiet neighborhood in Mesa, Arizona while waiting for the ice cream truck. Her younger sister ran inside for less than 2 minutes, and when she came back, MacLeod was gone. All that remained was her bike lying in the street, its front wheels still spinning, and the 2 quarters she'd been holding to buy her treat. Despite massive searches and decades of leads, no trace of MacLeod has ever been found, as her sudden disappearance remains one of Arizona's most haunting mysteries.
That's sad. Jeez.
Nobody can rightfully say whether this is real or AI generated anymore. It's a video of these shapeshifters changing and shifting on stage like for a performance, passing it off as some sort of illusionist performance, but there's actually something a lot darker happening here. Allegedly filmed in the 90s, hence the video quality, and before AI generated videos were a thing. But obviously AI can intentionally generate videos to look blurry, grainy, and like they were filmed in the 90s. We genuinely don't know what's real and what's AI generated anymore, and this is sparking some huge debates online. People saying these shapeshifters were performing some sort of ritual for the elites, and others that it's definitely 100% AI. Grok AI on X couldn't seem to make up its mind, telling us it's authentic 90s footage one moment and oh, never mind, it's actually AI generated the next. So I took matters into my own hands and popped this video into an online AI video detector, which told us it's 99.85% not AI generated, so it's real. And then it told us it's 99.83% AI generated when I ran it again. It also doesn't seem to be able to make up its mind. This is actually very concerning. If AI video detectors can no longer tell us what's real and what's AI generated, we can't prove anything anymore. AI videos are going to be thought to be real, and real videos are going to be thought to be AI. Nothing is real anymore. You can take a video of the most incredible, mind-blowing thing you've ever seen, and no one will ever believe you.
Maybe that's the point. Things are going crazy. Information is just on out there, and now let's make it that no one can trust anything that they see. I know that there was all those, was it a whole bunch? I know there was at least one where somebody was on one of those talent shows and there was some sort of clip going around about them being a skinwalker or something that was caught and ended up being AI. And truly, I think those were all AI. I don't think any of those were real. But that's pretty scary when AI is confused about something being AI. That's not very helpful, is it?
Would you like to play a video game where the NPCs are run by brain organoids? Yes, the tiny human brains that you can grow in a literal jar if you want to and can run computation. Well, that may be a reality. Very soon, some researchers out of Cambridge want to do just that. I'm also really excited for this because I have theorized that brain organoids could be used to give AI agency. It's very difficult to train an AI and program it to be able to take on tasks independently. But brain organoids are biological, and they can be trained on dopamine. They proposed using CL1, the first desktop computer that runs on tiny human brains that cost about $30,000, although you can use the virtual platform, meaning brain organoids 16 to a chip are rented out and they're trained in-house to do your tasks. They plan to use the Unreal Engine, which is essentially a software development space made for video games. They would like to drop brain organoids in and have them play, even with each other. We have seen brain organoids play a lot of really simple games, even inter-agent play in which they engage with each other and teach each other how to play a game, essentially. But this would take the idea much farther. They would drop multiple brain organoids into various games, different types of games, and watch them play and develop with each other. There's even the possibility that if this were done, we might be able to play with them as brain organoid NPCs. I would like to provide the smallest bit of caution. Although this is really exciting, and I personally am really excited for it, we can't think of them too anthropomorphically. It's not exactly cruel. Even the claim that they were sentient has been hotly debated and has been considered an irresponsible way to discuss these things, in part because it's just not helpful. I mean, you can think of an insect as sentient, it has the capacity to have an experience, but we don't really think about harming insects that much. I can promise you this, if there is even the slightest chance that you can play a video game with a glob of brain goo, or even if the brain goo is playing video games, I'll probably be the very first person to tell you.
That's a big no for me. I heard what she said, but I gotta say, I don't really agree with that. That's just not okay. That's crossing too many lines, and it's just a slippery slope. Slippery slope. See, I'm very sick. But I mean, that happens all the time. You introduce something and people will say, don't do it, don't do it. That's going to snowball. It's going to turn into something bigger. And it pretty much always does. So that kind of worries me, but we'll see.
This story really reinforces the point that you really can't trust anybody fully, even people that are in positions of power. This is a creepy TikTok that I got tagged in that shows multiple angles of CCTV footage with the caption, POV you're walking home when a police officer stops you and takes you to the woods. And we see one of the last points where this woman was seen alive. The woman featured in this video was Sarah Everard from London, a 33-year-old who back in March of 2021 ended up passing away at the hands of this off-duty police constable, Wayne Couzens. Sarah was walking home from a friend's house when she was stopped by Wayne, who claimed that she was violating Corona guidelines. So he arrested her, really kidnapped her, and took her to a densely wooded location where he had his way with her and then dispatched of her. He was caught though and pleaded guilty, where he was sentenced to life in prison. I couldn't imagine how terrifying it would be for Sarah to realize that she was being duped, that this guy did not have pure intentions, and that she was not going to survive the night.
How can you do that? I mean, really, how can you work for the law and then break the law? Extra stupid of him. I mean, you know they're going to find out. Was it really worth it? Was it really worth being that horrible of a human being? I am very sorry for that lady who lost her life and her family that has to live with that. That's just really sad.
I just found out something extremely disturbing from one of Beyoncé's songs called Alien Superstar. Now the intro of this song is actually a sample, but just listen to what it says. It says, "Please, do not be alarmed. Remain calm. Do not attempt to leave the dance floor. The DJ booth is conducting a troubleshoot test of the entire system. Somehow, while the party was in progress, an unidentified frequency has been existing in the system for some time. And while many of you have been made too brainwashed to comprehend, this frequency is and has become a threat to our society as we know it. This frequency has been used by a secret society in conjunction with Lucifer to lure and prey on innocent partygoers with hypnotism, synchroprism, tricknology, lies, scandal, and pornography. While the party is still in progress, we will keep you updated on our current status." This is where it gets even more weird. Beyoncé actually uses hypnosis in her concerts. I mean, look at this one in particular. Her fans were looking at this visual for over a minute with frequencies playing, and then they were flashed words like, "Whoever controls the media controls the mind control." I mean, and then this concert showed a portal with legs spread around it. She's literally telling us in her music and in her concerts.
Oh, that was disturbing. I don't know. Once again, a lot of time I think these singers and stuff are looking for shock value. And some of them I really do think are up to no good. What's your take on that? I mean, I don't know. That really looks weird and freaky. And I will never go to one of her concerts. I don't want to be a part of that. That's truly weird. In that last image, what was that? Someone please make that make sense.
I just told y'all the fake alien invasion was coming. NASA accidentally showed a real UFO, then cut the footage immediately. But it's a lot crazier than that. You'll see it in just a second. So they actually went and posted this right here on Twitter. Like, hey, we're doing a special live event. Come watch it with us, everybody. It's kind of like they want everybody to be paying attention to this, right? At the same time, we have 3-Eye Atlas and all that stupid stuff going on. Then they pop out with this right here, so you can watch it move from this side of the screen to this side of the screen. And something in the middle of the screen blocks it, so I don't know what's going on with that. but it's specifically there for you to see, and of course it looks much like this patent. Remember, this is in deep outer space. At least they want us to believe that. So why were they trying to get everyone to watch this live feed? So this can happen. What are the 0.000000000 to the 10th power? Yeah, about that, right? And it's also odd, we just had that James guy that disappeared after he found the UFO in the desert. He came back, he mixed up the story too much, so he had to come clean. But that story was viral right before this, as Three Eyeless. We're about to see some things, and specifically, holograms, fallen angels, demons, and flesh suits with demons in them. You know the Bible is living parallel, right? Men's hearts will fail them, for what comes upon the earth comes upon the earth. Bye.
Yeah, anyone else starting to think that they're just playing mind games with us? I'm pretty sure a lot of people will agree with that, but that's what everything just feels like a mind game, and you need to figure out what's the real truth. And somewhere in between all there's truth. Like there's somewhere in between all this, between the AI, between these captures, and it may not be exactly what we're seeing. It may be something I don't know. I don't even know what to think anymore. I mean, he makes a good point. Why say that and then also that appears, right? It's almost like they did it on purpose and made it look like a mistake, a big boo-boo. Or it really was a big boo-boo. I don't know. I mean, my brain's tired.
So somebody posted about finding a schizophrenic note in their Goodles mac and cheese, tucked into the corner right here. And it turns out that this is a much bigger issue than anybody could have anticipated. Because all over Pennsylvania and the East Coast, but specifically Pennsylvania, they have been finding notes in mac and cheese, Pocky packaging, and a lot of dried goods that are entirely incomprehensible. You can try to read this, I don't even know. And there's really no point in deciphering this, but this has been an absolute epidemic. Whoever is doing this is working overtime, working double time to put notes in every single piece of boxed mac and cheese that they can find. There's somebody on here who found 6 notes in one day. They're even targeting Pocky. Multiple people have found notes in their Pocky, and they all look like this. You can attempt to read. Go ahead. But mostly targeting pastas and dried mac and cheese. Somebody aggregated all the locations of the notes into a handy-dandy little map here, and you can see that most of them are concentrated in Pennsylvania. If you have gotten a note, please let me know.
That's wild. I really want somebody who can decode things to figure that one out. Maybe put it through AI. Maybe AI can decode it. If anyone hears that someone has decoded this, please let me know. I'd be very interested. What happened to you? You poor thing. What did I just look at?
So this woman is so addicted to painkillers that she'll murder people to get them. Now the woman's name is Velma, and Velma's 30 when this story starts, and she's living in North Carolina, and Velma has a big problem. Like I said, she's addicted to them pills. Because one day in 1962, she's been dealing with some severe back pain. And to help with the pain, she started taking painkillers. And so now she's hooked. And if her life isn't terrible enough, her marriage is also falling apart. Because one day, her husband, this guy Thomas gets in a horrible car crash. And that puts him in a lot of pain. And so he starts taking pain meds and drinking heavily to deal with all of it. And so they're both drunk and high all the time, and they start arguing and fighting, and years pass. But their marriage still isn't any better. And one day in 1969, Velma decides she's had enough. Thomas just keeps making her life miserable, and she wants out of this relationship. Now, she could go and get a divorce like a normal human being, but of course, that's not what she does. Instead, she decides that the only way out of this marriage is to kill Thomas. So one night, while Thomas is sleeping, she allegedly sets the house on fire with him still in it. And unfortunately, the fire ends up unaliving Thomas. So now Velma's marriage is done, and she moves on. And a few months later, it's 1970 now, Velma meets this guy, Jennings. And Velma thinks Jennings is fine, and Jennings likes her right back. And so they hit it off, and they start dating, and soon they get married. Now remember, Velma is still addicted to painkillers. So much so that she's constantly overdosing, and like poor Jennings has to rush her to the hospital whenever she does. And I don't know if it's because of her drug habit or what, but pretty quickly their marriage breaks down as well, and at this point they're fighting all the time, and they're even talking about getting a divorce. But you know Velma, and Velma doesn't appear to do divorces. No. She's gonna go right to the murder. So after only being married to him for around a year, she decides to poison his food with arsenic. And of course Jennings eats it. And pretty quickly he gets sick, like really sick. And later his heart fails and he unfortunately dies. So again, Velma's marriage is done, and again she moves on. And eventually she moves back in with her mother, who we'll just call Mother. And so she moves back in with her, and she tries to carry on with her normal life, but don't forget she's still addicted to those painkillers. And at some point she becomes desperate for more pills. So what does she do? Well, she starts stealing from her own mom. She actually applies for loans by forging her mother's signature, and she uses those loans to pay for her pain meds. She also uses her mother's properties as collateral for the loans, which is just really fucked up. Now, eventually, Mother starts getting suspicious that maybe someone is forging her signature. And Velma knows that her mom is getting suspicious, and she doesn't want her to find out that it's her. So she comes up with a plan to stop that from happening. Just like she did with her last two husbands, she's now going to kill her mom. So she starts putting Aunt Killer in her mom's food, which, has arsenic in it. And pretty quickly, Mother starts throwing up and getting diarrhea, so bad that she has to be rushed to the hospital. And shortly after, she, unfortunately, dies of a heart attack. So now, Velma has no one left. No husband, no mother, and no one to fund her pain pill addiction. But she's not gonna give up. She's gonna get her drugs one way or another. So she decides to start forging checks in the name of her late husband, Jennings. Like, she'll walk into a store and she'll buy a few things, but she'll pay with the check. But later, when the store tries to cash the check, it'll bounce. Because, the guy's dead. And she doesn't do this just once. Like, she does it a bunch of times. And eventually, I guess, one of the stores reports her, and so, bam, Velma gets arrested. And she's convicted of writing the bad checks, and she's sentenced to 6 months in prison. Now, here's where the story gets really dark. 3 months later, she gets out on good behavior.
Gets darker.
And it's now 1975. And
Darker
Velma
than murder.
decides to get a job working with the elderly as a home health nurse. And so she starts to take care of this elderly couple, this 93-year-old man and his 83-year-old wife. And the man is an amputee, so he's bedridden, he also has eye problems, and his wife is in her 80s, which makes them fully dependent on Velma. So she works there for a while, and soon enough, Velma begins stealing from them. She steals money, she forges checks in their name, and this goes on for about 2 years. And in 1977, I don't know if she just gets tired of taking care of the husband, or if he starts noticing money missing, or what, but either way, Velma decides it's time to get rid of him. So she starts putting arsenic in his food, and soon enough, the poor guy is dead. And sadly, some weeks later, Velma does the same thing to his wife. She unalives her too. And from there, she just keeps going. Like a month later, she takes another job caring for another elderly couple, and before long, she forges a $50 check from the husband. And husband eventually sees the check, and he knows he's not the one who signed it. Now, he doesn't necessarily suspect that Velma forged it, but he still reports it to the police. And they look into it, but they don't find enough evidence to accuse anyone of any crime. And this, the fact that she didn't get caught, only seems to make Velma bolder. So she keeps doing it. She steals $100 here, $200 there, and no one suspects it's her. But soon enough, the husband and wife do start to suspect it's her. And Velma doesn't want anyone to suspect that she's stealing. So she decides she's going to do the thing that she always does. She's going to murder one of them, the husband. And that's exactly what she does. She serves him some food laced with arsenic, and unfortunately, he doesn't survive. He dies from a heart attack. And again, no one suspects Velma. So it just seems like she's just going to keep going on killing people one by one, and she'll keep getting away with it. Until a few months later, Velma starts dating this guy. His name's Stuart. And before long, she moves in with Stuart. And of course, she starts stealing from him too, because that's who she is, and she needs money to pay for her painkillers. So she starts forging his signature on checks. But then, one day, Stuart finds a forged check with his signature on it, and he knows he didn't write this check. And he also knows there's only one person who could have done this to him. His girlfriend, Velma. So he confronts her, and he warns her that if this happens again, he'll call police. And you already know Velma isn't going to let that happen. So she decides it's time to kill Stuart too. So once again, Velma starts lacing his food with poison, and then I guess they drive to church that day, and during the sermon, Stuart starts getting really sick. Later, Velma drives him home, but he's still feeling really bad, and so a friend, who I guess is with them, is super concerned, and he calls an ambulance. But, unfortunately, it's too late. Poor Stuart doesn't make it. Here's the thing, though. Because he's not elderly like the other people she poisoned, doctors find this sudden death pretty suspicious. And so they perform an autopsy, and they discover traces of arsenic in his system. And that is when police get a tip linking Velma to the case, noting that a few of her previous husbands had also died under mysterious circumstances. And so, bam, she's arrested. And I don't have a mugshot, but here's a picture of her behind bars. And ultimately, she's found guilty of first-degree murder, and she gets sentenced to death.
Oh, man. She really got walloped. I'm a little confused on that one. So the other people who died, the older people, they didn't do autopsies? They just assumed they died because they were old? I'm confused. When people die, don't we all get autopsies? I mean, I could be wrong, but if they didn't do an autopsy just because they were old? No, it's... I've said this before. There's so much abuse and there's so many assumptions. You need to do autopsies and catch people who prey on the elderly. A lot of people prey on the elderly. Why wouldn't you do that? So because this guy was younger, they do an autopsy. And that's how she got caught. She could have got caught way before that. And more lives would have been saved. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to make sense of it. Well, it looks like that's all the videos I have for this week. Thank you for dropping by and watching. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. Press that notification bell and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. Any times that I asked, for your opinions, hey, put them down. I like reading your comments. And once again, if you have any suggestions, any videos you would like me to react to, put them in and we will include them in the next video. Once again, I'm very sorry for my cold. I'm probably looking like I'm falling asleep. I really am not, but I'm about to lose my voice. I guess this is where I wish you guys a great weekend, and I will see you next Friday. Bye.